son. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you want to be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause of sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up, really gon' rise to the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Well, good morning, folks. Good morning. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day this Thursday. I'm struggling along. That's all I can say. I'm still in a lot of pain, but I'm managing. It was nice to get up and move around and try to stretch some of these muscles. It just hurts. I don't know what else to say, but I'm here. So good morning, everybody. I'm here right and early, a little late. That's okay. You guys understand. So we already have 71 people in the chat this morning. If you guys could go on out and give me a thumbs up, I would greatly appreciate it. Good morning, Southern Granny Wolf, followed by Kathy S. It's nice to see you. Illinois newspaper. All right. Well, obviously you don't care to be here, so goodbye. Ruby, it's nice to see you. Rhonda, nice to see you. BM, Facebook user, I can't see who you are, but good morning this morning. Sean, it's nice to see you, love. L, O, Lady O, Gianna, Holden. Who else do we have? Rhonda. Oh, I think I already said hi to Rhonda. Angie, it's nice to see you. Lulu's Nan, nice to see you as well. Lori Lowe, nice to see you. Rebecca Collier, nice to see you. Linda Lou. What else do we have? Everybody else, good morning. Coffee is my curse word. Lady 7 Up. Who cares? I do. Good morning, all the coffee beans. Oh, it's nice to see you, Kim. I haven't seen you here in just a little minute, or I haven't called you out. I see Turkey Man's in the house as well. The Real Me Too, a couple of other people. Soaring Eagle, nice to see you. A Girl, and Justice Jane, it's nice to see you. So, as many of you know, today is a sad day for many that have been a part of the YouTube crime community for some time. Today is no real celebration, but it's something that where we want to celebrate the life of Summer Wells. You know, I think that's what's missing. It's not that we're celebrating her disappearance today. We're celebrating her life, the life that she had an opportunity to live and the life she did not. And that's really what today is about. So I want everybody out there that's doing something for Summer. I don't want it to be dreary. I want it to be happy. I want people smiling. I want people laughing. I want people enjoying their day because Summer gave so much for you to be able to do that. So this nonsense out here that you can't seem to have fun while bringing awareness to a young child that's no longer here or potentially, right? It's my belief that she's no longer here. That's my truth. That's how I will present it on my channel. And, you know, I hope everybody finds something that makes them smile when thinking of Summer Wells today. If you are planning on going to the Warrior's Path, you know, please enjoy yourself. Please enjoy yourself. Do not spend the whole time crying because that's not fair to Summer and it's not fair to Summer's name, in my opinion. To each their own, to each their own. But there's nobody out. You know, a lot of those people, I'm very thankful that are out there celebrating Summer Wells because there for a long time when we were needing help with, say, search parties and stuff like that, it was very hard to get people together for those types of things while we were out there. And as a matter of fact, I thought it was a great time to maybe revisit some things, you know, that we had done way back when. So I'm trying to get to some of the stuff. Here we go. And I wanted to show you just a few things and then we'll move on to a couple of other stuff. Going back in time, baby.
These mountains have eyes and ears, and so do the neighbors. The Wells don't care about getting their children back because if you want your children back, you don't hang out with convicted felons. You just don't.
To come here to be a voice for Summer. Here, look at this over here. No normal person could walk up that and steal a child.
Did she tumble down that hill? Was she left abandoned?
We always find it's mistakes in the investigation that cost time, money, and obviously arrests.
The individuals or individual responsible for murdering or kidnapping Summer Wells, or both, are going to be in this courthouse very, very soon.
We did find out that there were 2 audios that are available. We did order those. Those were domestic related. It means those happened within the last 18 months.
Yes.
Wendy's, Wilcox Drive in Kingsport.
See you then.
And we'll call. Okay, I appreciate that.
The rumors saying that the locals here are really scary, they're terrifying, they don't want to talk, shoot first, ask questions later sort of thing. We think that people do want to talk.
Stay tuned for what happens next.
So a lot of people forget just how much work, you know, we put into Summer Wells, the links that we actually went to find answers for Summer Wells. And there was a lot of stuff that we did.
Investigation into what happened.
That we did, and here's some more. So we're just going to continue just going down this road to show you some of the work that we did for all those that are just tuning in. Because again, we're not armchair detectives. I don't consider myself an armchair detective. I consider myself somebody that goes out there and gets information. I'm a combination of a lot of different things, including wanting answers when little girls go missing.
The Summer Wells has frustrated not only law enforcement, but people around the world. Next Wednesday marks 6 months since family members reported the 5-year-old girl missing from our Beach Creek community home in Hawkins County, Tennessee. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Hawkins County Sheriff, Ronnie Lawson, have stressed the negative impact of online rumors and misinformation on the search investigation. But 4 social media sleuths, as they see themselves with big followings, have come to our region in hopes of uncovering some clues that investigators may have missed. News Channel 11's Bianca Murray spoke with them.
The 4 have a combined following of over 2 million people. They say they came here for answers for both themselves and their ample audience.
I mean, it's been 6 months.
6 months.
6 months. And I don't want this girl to be a cold case.
They're at like a stalemate here. It's been 6 months and they still don't have answers.
So they are here, 4 social media sleuths from around the country traveling here to Hawkins County to keep up awareness. Summer Wells is still missing.
Pressure breaks pipes.
They are social media influencers and investigators. Their goal is to make noise and get noticed. They say it brings attention to victims, but criticism to their tactics.
And any leverage I can use, whether I like what's coming out of my mouth, if it's leverage that I can pull people in, I will use it.
It's just creepy.
Olivia Vitale has 1.2 million followers on TikTok.
It means that we can reach a large audience and bring exposure and spotlight to these cases. It really is about spotlight and bringing awareness, and with my account I'm able to do that.
They met while each individually covered the Gabby Petito murder investigation that gained national attention.
And the 4 of us came together as a group and put all of our talents and all our resources together, and we became a team, and we decided to come here for Summer Wells.
While in town, they say they met with the sheriff's office and surveyed the Wells property. They deliver any findings back to law enforcement.
This has opened up almost like a niche market for crime solving.
The idea is to keep spreading awareness. A finger touch to their phone starts their sometimes nightly conversations with their hungry for answers audience,
Our mission.
who support them.
The footage will speak for itself.
So that's a super chat right there. Someone just donated $10. Thanks.
That $10 little by little adds up to pay for the means to work,
That is not helping.
which is what they say this is.
We're down in Florida. We're over in Utah. We're in Wyoming. We're now in Tennessee. This stuff costs real money. And, this is a full-time job. And the only way we could afford to do something like this is by providing a service to the viewers, providing information that we're getting no place else.
Those viewers trust what they pay for, and the reward for them is hope that Summer's case will be solved.
It gives me purpose, and I just feel like it's my duty to help bring justice to people that don't have a voice anymore.
The 4 say they gave local law enforcement a heads up before they came to town. They were granted an audience with investigators. This morning, I contacted Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and asked for an interview, but was denied. In Hawkins County, Bianca Murray, News Channel 11.
So again, many people forget, everything that we do, everything that we did for baby Summer Wells. It was a long, arduous journey. We did a lot of research. We did a lot of searching. We had neighbors speak with us. Let's keep going.
Rejecting us. Silence is
couldn't come to church today because your back was out. How in the world are you able to be walking around your property when you can't even go to church?
What did you do with Summer, Don? Don Wills, what did you do with Summer? Where is Summer Wills? Where's Summer?
You're not going to find another group of people with these kind of balls.
Where is Summer Wills?
Sorry, guys. This doesn't happen.
Summer's life matters, guys. We are here again. They go to Charlottesville. They go to Charlottesville. Not just for Summer Wills. Hey, Don Wills. Don Wills and Candace Wells. Child abusers. Where's Summer Wills? Where's Summer Wills, Don? Don Wills. Where's Summer? We're here. Come down. Help us find Summer.
We want to help find your daughter.
Where is Summer?
All we want to do is find this and end this, please.
Hey, Don Wills, come down.
We have some dog
I know you
food.
can hear us, Don Wills. We are here. Say no to child abuse. Why aren't you out there looking for Summer?
All we want
Candace,
to do is find
why
the
are you
baby.
not out there looking for Summer? Justice for Summer Wills. Don Wills, I saw you outside. I knew you hear me.
Can you come outside? We have
Come
some
out.
dog food for you.
Come out. Why do you abuse animals up there? Why do you abuse children, Don Wills? Huh? We're here.
Can you come down and face us? Find
Shame on you, Wills. Shame on you, Don Wills. Shame on you, Candace. Where's Summer? What did you do with Summer? What did you do with Summer, Don? Don Wills, what did you do with Summer? Where is Summer Wills?
Summer's life
Where
matters.
is Summer Wills? Summer's life matters, Don. We are here again.
We've asked you
We're
to
here
help us
again.
many times.
This is
You
not
keep
going to go away.
rejecting us. Silence
Justice
is also
for
an
Summer
answer.
You told me you couldn't come to church today because your back was out. How in the world are you able to be walking around your property when you can't even go to church?
I think we should go.
Why?
Did you see that?
We got dog food down here for your dogs. We got snacks down here for your dogs.
Why are you shooting
We're
at us?
waiting down here. We want to know where you put Summer Wells. You need to ask Candace. Where did she put Summer Wells? What did you do with her? We know you weren't at work all day.
Shame on you.
Come on, boy.
I don't give a shit where you are. You all have got to leave. You have tore my grandmother-in-law all to pieces. She's having chest pains. This bullshit, it's done. We know what's going on. I have no doubt in my mind that they're involved in it. But we're tired of it. Okay? Let the law do their thing. I'm ex-law enforcement. I know the guys that's working the case. Let them do their job. That's all I ask. You come up over here. You've been over at the cemetery where my family's buried at. We're tired of it. Just get in your vehicles and leave. If not, I will call the law.
Now, remember, his son was arrested shortly after this and in prison for 8 years for having child photographs.
No, they're not allowed on our property. We don't go on theirs.
That's Mr. Sherwood.
Yeah, so they drove around, no disrespect after that.
I just got through putting more cameras up, so if anybody's up through there, you will be prosecuted if I can pull it tight.
No, they're not no evil intent, nothing like that.
It's time to leave. I respect what y'all are doing, but it's been almost, 8 months now? 9 months? They've got leaves. I know Ronnie Clausen, he's got leaves. Leslie Earhart, TBI, she's not going to release anything, so please.
Here we are 2 years later.
It's turned into another Evelyn. So I ask you to leave. Very nice.
Okay, well, we're bringing some dog food. We'll leave right there.
Oh.
No. None of us did.
Because she said she drove like a bat out of hell out of here on the streets.
My name's Jonathan. My name's John.
I'm Andra. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you.
No ill intent.
Yeah, no ill intent at
But
all.
all it's going to do is it's going to create more problems up here.
He just shot.
Oh, well, and he ain't afraid to shoot people.
Yeah.
We've had shootings up in here. That's why I'm armed. Because I don't know who's down here.
Yeah.
If he comes up and starts shooting, I will shoot back.
There's a
and
lot
if
of
people live right up here start shooting, I'll start shooting back.
Yeah.
So these two don't get along.
Oh, we know that.
Yeah.
We didn't know that.
I'm surprised he hasn't blamed them yet.
Well, he has.
Oh, he has.
He's blamed everybody.
Is that
else.
Andy up there?
Who?
Andy or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gone. He run her off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I mean, these guys here. Have you ever like
the lady that used to live up here? All she'd do was harass everybody. She come to the property up here, harassed us. And I ended up drawing my gun on her.
Yeah.
So to leave. I wasn't putting up with it.
Yeah. Exactly. So,
but now he has blamed Fred.
Yes.
Yes.
And Fred done put the word out to him. He say my name again, and he'll kill him.
Yeah,
Fred
because
shot- put some man out here in the sun.
he's the one that I was talking to when he dropped his name.
Yeah.
I was.
I know.
All right. Well, we can.
yeah, we'll go on our way.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
gonna drop.
All right,
Yeah, we're
appreciate
just gonna
No,
drop
we
off the
appreciate
dog
you coming
food.
out, dialogue.
But do you
I
know
don't know.
Candace had threatened some people that she was going to shoot them, blow their fucking head off? Which,
Did-
do
I'll
you
put
know?
pastor.
You wouldn't put a pastor.
I mean, with everything's been going on, people's been blaming going on, it wouldn't surprise me for shoot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have you heard like screaming or yelling? Like
Oh, yeah.
they argue.
Oh, you heard screaming?
They argue all the time.
Hopefully,
Yep.
y'all can go there. All right. God bless.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be back up on you.
What happened to their mailbox? It was not like that yesterday. The mailbox.
The mailbox.
Oh, we need to talk to this person over there behind. We need to talk to them.
No. That's for tomorrow. Just in case. That's for tomorrow.
Okay, just leave it there. We got treats. Let's put some treats there. Put some treats. Oh, Jonathan, we should talk to the person in that car. That we have a chance, you know?
All right.
Now this is the thing. He didn't tell us that not to come back.
I know. He's never told us not to.
Exactly.
What did you say?
This is the point. I said
Hold
we're
on,
gonna know if he's smart or not. If he says, "Don't come back on my property," he's never done that. How do you expect us to read a flare gun? To me, that signals party, right?
So you guys
Fireworks.
Dogs.
Sorry, we delivered him dog
And he
food.
said thank you.
Fireworks.
He didn't say don't come here.
Exactly.
Out of all the times that we've been on the phone
Yeah.
with him, he's never once
Never.
told us not to come.
Never.
Never.
It's almost like he wants us to come.
Well, of course.
All right, so Don Wells has agreed to allow Bullhorn Betty to go with me. This is something that has just, listen, I ordered tamales. We had no idea. I thought I was going to take a shower and go to bed. And all of a sudden, at 9 o'clock at night, he's like, let's hang out. My feeling is happening. What I just described to you is happening. They want to recruit me as a friend and tell me things.
Don Wells responded tonight about the protesting. You know, I got something for you to protest. He sent 2 messages out, one to me on our text and one to you, same thing.
Yeah.
The protesting in front of his house with the Bullhorns was the catalyst for him to initiate dialogue in the meeting.
Posted on my page the interview, just the interview segment of his neighbors, of his neighbor coming out and saying, we know he had something to do with it. We don't like him. They don't get along with anybody around here.
I will meet you, man and woman, no BS tomorrow, no recording devices. Look, we have a serious problem in our country, many missing babies. Let's do this for them, please. I said, okay, Don, we will be there tomorrow. What time?
He's trying to associate Summer with a whole bunch of missing babies because everybody else has missing babies.
He wants us to
His
look for other
babies.
keys and move along.
Yeah.
I will give you tomorrow 5 p.m. This is for missing American citizens and no one else. Okay.
Were you right?
Oh, you wanted to go to the house.
He said he would meet us at the house, him and Candace. He's changing now. No. We want to, if we're going, we're meeting him at his house, like he said.
with him in Kansas.
We're not being played again. We're not meeting him at a coffee
Set us
shop.
up one time. I'm coming to the house. Please let us. If you will welcome us, we will come to the house. We're not going to get stood up like we were last time. Enter the driveway works for me. I don't care.
I have a secret location.
Oh my God, he's pulling.
We're not doing it.
He's
telling there's got to be some kind of.
And I'm gonna hear him out. I just want to hear him out.
Diplomatic something going. There's something.
No, it's fishy.
Don says that tomorrow evening at a secret location, I will give you tomorrow at 5 p.m. This is for missing American citizens and no one else, not me, American citizens. And I say, you said you would meet us at your house, Don, with you and Candace. Let us come over. We are not going to get stood up like you did to us at Wendy's. We are coming over. What time? We will walk up your driveway alone, me and Betty only. All we ask is guaranteed safety. And he responds, I can't let you on my property because of federal stuff. There's way more to it, but other things. Don't come here. I have a secret location. I said, where then? He said, at 5 p.m. tomorrow, I'll meet you. But you bring anything other than yourself, it will be a disaster. I promise I won't record nothing and will leave my phone in my truck. You need to do the same, okay?
Fair enough, Don.
I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on with this.
He's probably drunk.
He is drunk for a fact.
There's
So
no
you
doubt
need to do
about
the
it.
same.
But
F YouTube. This is about missing American citizens.
This is not even about Summer. It's about missing American citizens. It is no longer about Summer. They don't even care about their own daughter.
I said, okay, Don, where is this secret location?
Where's the location? Where's the location? And he changed his story. This is going to be the same shit.
Yep.
Just like last time.
There you have it. So we're just going through some of the work that we all did way back when, as we're bringing it full circle, back to Summer Wells and, some of the stuff that we did. It's long. So we'll keep going about it, bringing awareness to Summer Wells. Again, she's missing. We have an update. I don't even know what to call it. It's just, I get so frustrated with TBI in Hawkins County because they literally last year, they did absolutely nothing except, we understand today, today is a 1 year mark of her disappearance, and all pretty much a lot of the same. No new information from TBI. They haven't really been pushing the case. They wait for the 2-year anniversary to even get a rendering of what she may look like a couple years older. And as many people have stated across YouTube, unfortunately, this looks like much older, but again, she was 5. The difference between a 5 and a 7-year-old child. But in this particular age progressive photo, she looks 10, 11, 12 years old, in my opinion, as opposed to 7. So, I do agree with some of the commentary out there, but this is what the FBI states that she should be looking like right now, today, this day and age. And again, it's a sad day for me, along with many other people out there across this country and across this world when it comes to this little baby girl. She brought many of us together. We weren't even going to go to this area. We couldn't even get sponsorship to go to this area to cover this case, but we had such an overwhelming amount of people reaching out to myself, Olivia, Jonathan, MGL, and even Justice for All to cover this case. And, the information that we had heard was, this was a dangerous area. People shoot first and ask questions later. When we got to this area, we met a lot of wonderful people that wanted nothing more than to find this little girl. People that told us a lot of personal, private information to help this child that we did ultimately turn over to law enforcement. We didn't go in here for any other purpose than to help. And that's what it was all about. We did get content, but there was a lot of stuff that our audience has never seen when it has come to this case. And we will continue to hold those things behind until this case is solved. Hopefully one day we will be able to show the world everything. But right now, we've done a lot of work when it comes to Summer Wells. We did a lot of searches. We never went out there just for content. We went out there again to help and to search for this little girl. We were hoping, like with a lot of people, I mean, even Brandy Neal gave flyers to hand up when we went into her community and met with her. And here with Don Wells, no. We didn't get that he wanted us to come, but didn't want us to come. He wanted us to come there to listen to all of his nonsense, but he did not want to help look for his child. Every time we had an opportunity to meet with Don, now we got plenty of interviews with him drunk and over the phone, but that wasn't the point. The point was he wanted to find answers for his daughter. We needed some information from him. We needed background information, and he was unwilling to provide that. He was unwilling. He kept telling us he wants to meet with us. He wants our help. And he kept standing us up over and over and over again. Many people don't want the truth when it comes to Summer Wells, Don Wells, and Candace Bly. They would rather stick their head under the rock and act like they're the good guys. I'm sorry. Let's put this into plain Jane perspective. Okay? They had 2 children. Both Don had 2 children. Candace had 2 children. This is prior to these children. Summer and her three brothers. All 4 of those children were taken out of the custody of Candace Bly. She literally pointed a shotgun at a social worker and threatened to blow that social worker's head off if she did not, if they came in there to take her first set of kids. They ended up taking the first set of kids, right? Now, fast forward, she has 4 more children. So now Don's got 2 children taken away from him. Candace has 2 children taken away from him. They meet together and decide to have 4 more children. 4 more children. Summer Wells is now missing, and all 3 of their boys have been taken from their custody. Those boys will not be returned to their custody. And then Don and Candace flee the state. So the idea that these parents, their behavior toward the disappearance of their child, their behavior after she disappeared, them failing to even look for her, them failing to even care for her, the disgusting things we've heard come from the parents' mouths over the last 2 years are not indicative of parents that have no idea where their child is and believe that their child is abducted. You look at any other parent in this country that is truly missing their child. They are not fleeing the state. They are not fighting the courts for their other children. As a matter of fact, most of them have their own other children still living in their home, such as Brandy Neal. So I just want to bring awareness to Summer Wells. I want to bring true awareness to Summer Wells, not the awareness that some people on YouTube and other social media want you to believe, what you should be believing. Don Wells and Candace Bly have abused their children so much so that 7 children have been removed from their home and 1 child is missing and, in my opinion, presumed dead. This does not sound like a good, wholesome home or wonderful freaking parents. You will never get a dime of my money to support your drug or alcohol or abuse of another. We'll leave that to the hate channels to support criminals. Yes, 8 children in total. 8 children in total. All of them are gone. Every last one of them. 8 children that we, the public, have had to take care of and will continue to have to take care of. 8 children. So guys, I just want to thank you for giving me an opportunity to, share that a little bit of information about Summer. We are going to go back and start reviewing some of Summer Wells' files. And, at this time, we relied heavily on Chronicles of Olivia because that's how we did things out there. We all got our own content. We were all independent. We collaborated on Summer Wells. And, we had Olivia, which was obviously a beautiful producer of content. And so that's going to be the content I'm going to use in addition with some of my own content that I took that I think that you guys will find interesting. And we're probably going to play it, in the mornings as we're diving into our segment. So many of you know that we discussed Daniel Penny. He was the gentleman that ended up accidentally killing Jordan Neely on the subway in New York City after Jordan nearly got really violent with passengers and had a lot of concerned passengers on the subway. We did discuss this particular matter. I did want to let you know, just as an update, that Daniel Penny has truly been indicted. It has been indicted on that charge where he choked the subway rider, and when they were riding the F train, the victim struggled. Obviously, Neely succumbed to his injuries, and it was a lot of people came out and were really frustrated and upset that he, as a Marine, is now in all this trouble because he tried to save other people. We don't know what's going to happen at his trial. He is on trial right now. He is being charged, I believe, with second-degree murder or possibly manslaughter. It doesn't say here. It says a man at choke is indicted by a grand jury, was indicted on a second-degree manslaughter charge. So they do have him on second-degree manslaughter, which doesn't hold like as strong of a penalty, but it's still, you're still going to have that for the rest of your life, saying that you murdered somebody, that you killed somebody. And so hopefully he gets some relief. Hopefully the courts find him as acting in his own defense. This guy was acting very erratic. We looked into this Neely's past, and he is a very violent person. So I'm very curious how this is all going to eventually play out. But there's one other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about real quick. If you guys give me just a second. I don't know how I managed to miss this on my commentary today, but it's not. So give me a second. Over myself. There we go. And before I get started, I'm going to go to my YouTube page because I want you guys to see this video, and then we're going to give you guys an update. I know you remember this. Do you guys remember me doing the segment on the creepy dolls? We're going to pull this up, and I'm going to remind you about this because this was a little crazy. This was a crazy story that, to be honest with you, I didn't know we were going to, it was going to turn into such an event. Here you go, watch this.
A new FBI search is now linked to a store that sells what it calls creepy dolls.
The FBI will still not say exactly what it is searching for. That yesterday there were 2 searches all day long, one at that business in Peabody and one at the business owner's home here on this street in Salem.
So here's this article right here, FBI search Peabody. I know it's not Peabody, it's Peabody is how they pronounce it, I believe. The creepy doll business. An owner's home in Salem. It says the FBI said there was no threat to public safety following the search of a creepy dolls shop in Peabody and the owner's home in Salem. One business owner in the 50 Mills complex of Peabody saw 8 or more men in uniforms in their hallway on Tuesday. They assumed there were maintenance being done to the building. It was only when they saw the labels on the jacket they realized the FBI was inside the building. I can confirm the FBI was at both locations yesterday conducting law enforcement activity in connection with an ongoing federal investigation. An FBI spokesperson told WBZ Wednesday to protect the integrity of the ongoing investigation, we're going to refrain from commenting on its substance. However, there's no threat to public safety. They were taking things out of the shop and putting them into boxes, a neighbor in the complex said. And there's the door to the creepy doll shop. According to witnesses, the FBI is searching Cat's Creepy Creations. Cat's Creepy Creations described itself as art that will shock the mind and shake the soul. The shop's Instagram account says it specializes in creepy dolls, oddities, and bone art, with posts including a real human skull and a case of 11 human vertebrates. The caption on one post says, if you're in the market for human bones, hit me up. Witnesses told WBZ the FBI agents were at the complex, which housed various different businesses from morning until late afternoon. They said the agents were lugging what looked like wrapped suitcases and boxes out of the shop. It was like, what's happening? Said Mary, who spoke on the first floor. It's kind of weird because it's your place of work, so you want to be safe and you want to feel safe. The FBI was also seen at the shop owner's house in Pleasant Street in Salem, digging in the yard Tuesday. They set up 2 tents in the backyard, seemed to be like a lab setup. A pickup truck was here with the back loaded with equipment, forensic type of equipment. They spent 8 hours here collecting large number of boxes. Tote bags were brought out, a neighbor who didn't want to be identified told WBZ Wednesday. It was a tad unnerving, if you really want to know, especially seeing people in Tyvek suits. It's like, what is it? Is there a body buried? Why the FBI? It doesn't make sense, said Michelle Peterson of Salem. Peterson lived around the corner from the shop's owner. She says Salem is typically a quiet town. It's kind of creepy, said Peterson. This is a very quiet area. Nothing really happens. The owner of Cat's Creepy Creations told WBZ Wednesday she had no comment. One of the Mills 58 property owners issued a statement to WBZ. Per the head investigator on this matter, the FBI was granted permission by business owners to enter their business suites yesterday and has stated that there is no threat or danger to the property or its tenants whatsoever. This is an isolated incident and it's unrelated to the remaining Mills 58 business and property owners. So there's the statement from the residents, but this is just a creepy story.
A new FBI search is now linked to a store that sells what it calls creepy dolls. This is a story you saw first on WBZ. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Lisa Hughes.
And I'm David Wade. We've also learned the store owner claims to use human bones to make her creations.
It was a tad unnerving, if you really want to know, especially seeing people in Tyvek suits. Up 2 tents in the backyard. They spent 8 hours here collecting a large number of boxes, totes, bags.
This is the home of the woman who owns Cat's Creepy Creations in Peabody. Her workspace was also searched by the FBI all day Tuesday in connection to a federal investigation. WBZ tried to ask the woman about the search on Wednesday.
Is there anything that you want to say about the FBI search here yesterday?
She describes her business on Instagram as a creator of creepy dolls, oddities, and bone art, posting a real human skull on Instagram, saying in the caption, if you're in the market for human bones, hit me up. And here, displaying 11 real human vertebrae.
It's a little bit
I won't say nerve-wracking, but it certainly got our attention. This is a very quiet area. Nothing ever really happens, which is one of the reasons we like it so much. We adore it here in Salem. And so to find out that the FBI has converged on a house on the next block and they're digging up bones and things like that, it's like, what is it? Is there a body buried? Why the FBI? It doesn't make any sense.
Hey guys, so I wanted you guys to see this. This is Kat's Creepy Creations. This is this is the Instagram page, and we're just going to go through the photos. Look at these photos. I mean, they are pretty creepy. And I believe this is the one they believe is the real human skull. Look at all this.
We're almost done. But there's a lot of stuff. So pretty creepy, right? Pretty creepy. I mean, this is like, wow, you know? And I didn't think anything of it. You know, I'm following this. I sent this over. I can't remember if Miss Robin sent it to me or I sent it over to her. And I remember her writing back, and it's like, you know, I like kind of like creepy stuff too. You know, there's just some people that are into that. And I at times, you know, Halloween wise, I'm into creepy stuff too all day long, right? But this ended up blowing up to being something so freaking huge, like much bigger than what we anticipated. Are you guys ready for this? Harvard Medical School morgue manager Cedric Lodge accused of selling body parts. That is absolutely correct. She is linked to this Harvard Medical School manager, the morgue manager. This is like a huge, FBI investigation. It's huge. And I'm like, and it wasn't just there. There's more. Let me see if I can take this off. I'm going to probably have to take hold on just a second. Let me take my background off and see if that helps in my bandwidth. Let's see if that helps with my bandwidth. It does not. Blah, blah, blah. Right? So hopefully it'll catch up. But anyways, so I was reading this article about this stuff. I never even thought in a million years, that this whole Kat's Creepy Creations that we covered back in March would somehow be associated with this guy here. So let's listen. We can. Allow us to.
Investigators say he stole human remains donated to the school for research.
Let's
that
go
were
back
set
to the
to be
beginning.
cremated.
Sale of body parts included heads, brains, skin, and bones. And it stretched all across the country. As Christina Rex tells us, prosecutors say these so-called customers could actually shop for the parts that they wanted.
That's kind of crazy, huh?
This
Shop for the
disturbing
parts you want.
conspiracy stretched from here in New Hampshire all the way to Arkansas, and that more than $100,000 was exchanged for these stolen body parts that included heads, brains, skin, and bones. Defendants were silent as they left federal court in New Hampshire and Boston Wednesday, accused of stealing and selling human remains. Mr. Lodge, some of those families have called us horrified, wondering if it was their loved one. Do you have anything you want to say to them? The conspiracy allegedly started with Cedric Lodge, the morgue manager at Harvard Medical School for nearly 30 years. Investigators say he stole human remains donated to the school for research that were set to be cremated after use, and instead sold them to oddity creators for the last 5 years.
What were you doing with these body parts?
Katrina McLean of Salem allegedly purchased dissected faces for $600.
She's never been in trouble before, and obviously this was very distressed, so she just wants to be home with her family.
FBI agents were at McLean's Salem home back in March and at her business in Peabody, Cat's Creepy Creations, where they say she sold some body parts. According to her social media pages, she makes creations that shock the mind and shake the soul, including bone art.
Did the people really understand the breadth of what they were doing was wrong?
This indictment alleges McLean resold the stolen body parts to Jeremy Pauley of Pennsylvania, who was previously
That dude is
charged.
scary. And you know
Messages
what?
she sent to Pauley
I
read,
think he's
wanted
came
to
up.
make sure it got to you.
I think he's actually come up on some, because his face looks familiar. So I think he's come up on some past criminal stuff that, may be associated with us or may not. But yes, it's pretty intense.
And I don't expect agents at my door.
It's disturbing. That's about the only word that can be used, I think. It's just for money. Typically, the individuals who donated their body parts really were trying to do something kind and have them donated for science. And instead, they're being sold on the black market.
And all of the defendants who were arrested were allowed to go home after their first court appearances. Next, they'll all have to appear in federal court in Pennsylvania. Time and date to be determined.
So a lot of people probably think, who cares, who really gives a crap about, these because they belong to somebody. They belong to somebody that, was trying to do something good, trying to help medical students, and they trusted the school. I mean, who would not trust Harvard Medical School? You would expect them to handle themselves, and you got a rogue employee, an employee that they entrusted, an employee that's been with them for, significant amount of time. And so I'm sure they did not anticipate this being an issue. Guys, give me just a second. I'm having some more technical issues. I don't know what is going on with my bandwidth. The only thing I can equate it with is it being equated to StreamYard. It seems like StreamYard is the catalyst to some of my internet stuff. I don't have this problem running on Restream, and I don't have this problem running direct on YouTube. It's only through StreamYard, and it's a little frustrating. But either way, we have updates on Maddie Kingsbury that we've been getting, primarily the probable cause statement. But since we're already an hour into the show, I do want to go ahead and get to the crux of why we're here. And that is the Bryan Kohberger case. And as many of you know, I did drop a video yesterday. We are watching videos today, right? Because I've had, to be honest with you, I've been going through a lot of this stuff, and I want to show you guys everything in this Supreme Court decision, because a lot of stuff that was stated in the hearings that we saw, the hearings for Shannon Gray and the hearings for the Media Coalition, I found some inconsistent statements made by the judge, inconsistent statements made by the prosecution, inconsistent statements made by the defense, inconsistent, misrepresented, and flat out lies provided in their hearing. And it's very disturbing for me as a person of the public previewing this. I mean, take the Bullhorn Betty channel out of the equation. But for me personally, let me get this off the screen. We don't need to see her anymore, right? But for me personally, it's hard to watch, because I feel like there's something more here. And I do believe that this has been an effort to shut the Gonzalez up. I think it truly has been. I think the Supreme Court, if it goes there, would also agree, because we're listening to Shannon Gray's statement to the court. And I'm going to play, I know we played a lot of videos here, but, it's stuff that's already created. And that's why it's so easy to go back to. But I want you guys to watch this. For those that haven't, I believe many of the people already in this chat have watched it just by the mere numbers of views on it. But I'm still going to play it again, because I think it's important that we understand what was said at the court hearing that we understand what was said at the court hearing. And we're going to go over, because, you know, the judge has requested that the responsible people out here on social media and mainstream media is to educate our audience. And I am committed to helping our audience understand the law and understand what is going on in this particular case. And part of that is cutting through the BS as well and educating our audience on the truth, not what the judge or the courts want us to tell you, but what you should know. And this was upsetting to me so much so that I, you know, put the judge on my thumbnail and wanted to make sure that people understood my position on this, because it was really upsetting when I was reviewing this stuff yesterday and I came across this and I'm like, wait a minute, I remember this. It took me like an hour and a half to find this clip because I couldn't remember if it was on the, if it was Shannon Gray that made the statement, or if it was Wendy Olson for the Media Coalition to make the statement. But I remember hearing the statement. And so it was actually Shannon Gray. So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you. Again, this is probably something many of you have already seen, but it's only 9 minutes. So let me get past the, I'm just going to play the whole thing. So bear with me. You're going to enjoy it if you haven't already watched it. But if you have watched it, I actually think I did a really good job on this video to begin with. So you'll enjoy it regardless, right? So stick around, stay tuned. Well, good afternoon, guys. Bullhorn Betty. This is related to, did the judge lie in his own hearing with Shannon Gray or misrepresent some facts? If people don't know what this is regarding, so Bryan Kohberger is accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students in their off-campus housing on November 13th. In the early mornings hours between 4 a.m. and 4:20 in the morning. He was arrested and charged with their murders on December 30th. And since then, there's been a lot of information that's come out about Bryan Kohberger that has brought us to the point where we are today. You know, the media has really been pushing back hard on this case and the non-dissemination order, as well as the Gonzalez family attorney, Shannon Gray. Shannon Gray has been asking the courts for some time, I think since February, to modify the non-dissemination order because, according to Megan Marshall, he, according to her, is also under that very order, even though 3.6, as he argues, does not apply to him. And so I was reading the objection to media's motion to vacate the amended non-dissemination order, which was bringing me to different points in this that ended up having me refer back to the Supreme Court opinion, the published Supreme Court opinion. And it was right when I was getting into the article on page 6 of this particular document, again, the objection to media's motion to vacate the non-dissemination order. And it was talking about the First Amendment grounds that there is no record of prejudicial media coverage. And they needed some justification in order to, put an order enforcing these professional rules instead of leaving that to the bar, which again brought me back to the published Supreme Court opinion. And as I was reading, a light bulb just went off in front of my head, or over my head rather. And it was related to Shannon Gray ending right before he got to his close when arguing his motion. He was talking to the judge about what the reasons for this very motion was put in place for. And the judge basically said, no, that's not true. But look at what I found. Here first is the section of the video related to Shannon's great argument, related to the reasons why this non-dissemination order was first put in place. Check it out.
I have asked, as part of that, whether interviewing my clients might be an issue. Would they like to do that in some way? I've offered that up in some way, and they've never taken us up on it. And maybe a random email here and there that says something and no follow-up whatsoever about it. So this idea that they are going to be witnesses in this case is just an attempt by the prosecution to shut them up.
I'm going to stop right there because I want your opinion on this, because I truly feel that what Shannon Gray is stating here is accurate. Because when we go back to the history of this case, you see the, Chief Fry gave several interviews about this case. We definitely know that the attorney over in Pennsylvania provided some information on the record about this case after a certain amount of time had transpired. And he was saying that, Bryan Kohberger is eager to make it back to Idaho to exonerate himself. And, we heard Bill Thompson. We saw an interview with Bill Thompson. Let's see, Bill Thompson interview.
County Prosecutor Bill Thompson. Mr. Thompson, good morning to you.
This was on.
Good morning.
Police there have called this a targeted,
November
isolated
17th.
Attack. Are
3
investigators
days.
looking for a particular suspect or suspects this morning?
3 days. 3 days after this altercation, this situation that happened at 1122 King Road, the murder of 4 University of Idaho students in their off-campus housing. You've got the chief prosecutor here, Bill Thompson, having an interview. So he's allowed to have an interview. The attorney for Bryan Kohberger in Pennsylvania is allowed to have an interview. Chief Fry is allowed to have an interview. I believe Lieutenant Rainier had an interview, or Lanier. I can't remember his last name. I think it's Rainier, but it could be Lanier, right? So all these people had interviews, but as soon as Shannon Gray as soon as Shannon Gray has an interview, now mind you, I see Shannon Gray here. It looks like one on December 13th and one on December 20th.
No detail too small in a murder investigation, and you can multiply that by 4 in the Idaho case.
And here's what Shannon Gray
Police said they cleared early this. Mr. Gray, thank you so much for being here. So let's start with Adam. Who exactly is Adam? And has Adam been helpful at all in this investigation?
It's my understanding that Adam is just the bartender at the corner bar that they were referring to. I think it was just conversation they were having between the two of them.
So just the point of everybody having all these interviews, everybody has interviews going on from November 17th. Now we started seeing, interviews coming out much sooner, but just for our intents and purposes, November 17th. This man did not start speaking until December 13th, almost a month to the day from the time that the victims were killed. And this non-dissemination order was put into place on January 3rd. January 3rd is when it was put into place. And as we hear on with Shannon Gray, he says that he's not, we heard him, talking to the judge. He even said to the judge, I don't think you have that authority. And the judge said, oh, I have that authority. Remember him saying that? So I decided to look into this. You know, there's a couple other things that I've notated here, but for the most part, and the allegations from, let me go back to that video because we do need to finish it because it gets down to the actual allegations from this. Oh, is this the wrong one? Yeah, this is the wrong one. Hold on a second. I got too many things open here. Give me just a second. Is that the right one? No, this is the right one. I didn't want you guys watching the 3-hour one, but I want you to watch this.
And by the way, people completely forget about this. All of the information that has been disseminated to the public from the get-go was the mayor, Art Betke. Chief Fry had interviews. Bill Thompson had interviews. The coroner had interviews. All of those people had interviews. We didn't until we started getting information and started trying to figure out what was going on after they had given interview after interview after interview.
He's being truthful.
That was the purpose of the judge issuing the non-dissemination order, is to quiet them up, not quiet the victims up. They had no control over that investigation from the get-go.
Well, that order was a stipulation between
the
state and Mr. Kohberger.
That's the other thing, though, is that the court, after that Zoom meeting, Judge Marshall incorrectly said that was stipulated by all parties. I never stipulated to that. I emailed the
You're
judge.
not a party.
Exactly right. I'm not involved in the
The
case.
stipulation was between the parties.
So-
Since you've correctly stated who the parties are.
So we would
I
ask,
agree, but you were suggesting that it was entered to shut down the prosecutor's office.
why would they
That's what
claim?
you just said.
I do think that that was part of the process, is that they understood that their investigation was getting out of hand. Too many people were talking in their investigation, and that's why they stipulated to it. Yes, I do.
Okay, when you say they, you mean the prosecutor's
Yes.
office.
Yes.
All right.
Did you hear that? He was talking about how everybody had been getting interviews after interviews. He had not, and just as soon as he did, he was basically shut up. And that's true. The real reason for this non-dissemination order was there was allegations of information being leaked from the prosecutor's office, and the judge said, "Let's hear it again."
Well, that order was a stipulation between
That's-
the state and Mr. Kohberger.
That's the other thing, though, is that the court, after that Zoom meeting, Judge Marshall incorrectly said that was stipulated by all parties. I never stipulated to that. I emailed the judge.
Refresh, Jennifer, and see if that helps.
Exactly right. I'm not involved in the case.
Now, let's look at the Supreme Court's understanding why this original non-dissemination order was put into place. The state and Kohberger prepare a joint memorandum that summarizes the events of his meeting. The magistrate court granted a stipulation motion to file this memorandum under seal. However, after the petition was filed, the state and Kohberger filed a motion to unseal a redacted version of the memorandum, which the magistrate court granted upon weighing the interest in privacy and public disclosure. The respondent now has supplied the redacted version of the memorandum to the record before the court. The summarized conversation from this meeting largely concerned attorney speech, the rule of professional conduct, the purpose of the original non-dissemination order, and the need to protect Bryan Kohberger's right to a fair trial. For example, Judge Marshall reiterated that she is not saying that clients cannot talk to the media. She reminded the parties of the rule of professional conduct 3.6 and the lawyer's duty. We are going to be going over Rule 3.6 here because, again, we're going to educate our audience on why this rule doesn't apply to Shannon Gray. And I think that the judge is ultimately going to have to accept the fact that this does not apply to Shannon Gray.
2, Judge Marshall clarified that attorneys are not prohibited from advising their clients, but they are prohibited from speaking to the media. 3, there is an allegation of information being leaked from what? That's right, the prosecutor's office. There was an allegation of information being leaked from the prosecutor's office. There were accusations in the meeting that at least one attorney for the potential witness has been making false statements and or disseminating the same to the media. The amended non-dissemination order that resulted from this meeting was stipulated to by all parties in this case in response to media coalitions directly petitioning this court for redress, invoking our original jurisdiction and seeking relief via extraordinary writ. So guys, what do you think about this information? Did Judge John C. Judge lie in his own hearing and misrepresent certain facts about the truth of this non-dissemination order? For me, I say yes, I believe that he did. I also want to direct you guys back. Let me pull it up here to the original non-dissemination order, because he keeps trying to act like this is Meghan Markle. This is all Meghan Markle's doing. Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle, Meghan Markle. Oh, that is have her name on the original non-dissemination order. Then which one has his name on it? Because I remember Judge, the first time I saw him, oops, I just lost my, hold on here. Let me reshare this. Give me just a second. There was one, because I pulled it up, where it's John C. Judge on the order. I know what it was. It was the courthouse conduct. Marshall, hold on, there's one in here. And I remember seeing it. I never found the first one. That's always been the problem. I never found the first one. And I think I found it one time, but I had not. So here it is. This is the document. So don't think John C. Judge has not been associated with this case from literally the beginning. This was his second order, and you can see the date, January 4th, and you see his initials down there, John C. Judge. So he's had his hand in all of this with Meghan Markle, and most likely has been advising her inappropriately on this. And they have really been stretching the law quite a bit. And if you notice the way I'm saying stretching the law, why am I saying stretching the law? I'm saying stretching the law because at the end of the day, the prosecution is playing word games in order to shut a victim's family up. And I think it's completely disgusting and despicable, because at the end of the day, we know darn well they have not communicated hardly at all with the Gonzalez family, because had they been advising them, they would not have gotten an attorney to represent them to get information in lieu of detectives telling him, because they weren't telling him. That's why he got the attorney. And for whatever reason, Meghan Markle somehow believes that anybody that holds or possesses a law license in the state of Idaho is bound to 3.6, and there are not. There are special specifications you have got to meet in order for 3.6 to preside over that attorney. And they just don't have it. And they're stretching the law as much as possible. They're stretching the law as much as possible to shut the Gonzalez up. At the end of the day, Shannon Gray made very specifically that his clients have not been interviewed by the prosecutor. You cannot be considered a witness if you haven't even been interviewed by the prosecution. So that is the first red flag for me. When you're telling me that Bill Thompson is saying these people are a witness, but he's never, even after being offered the Gonzalez to speak to them, has never sat down with them to interview them. And Shannon Gray, under oath, as an officer of the court, stated for the record
that he's offered his clients to the state, and they have turned him down. They have turned him down. So how can you be a witness when you've never been interviewed? So they're using this a witness in the sentencing phase as an effort to try, as a bridge to try to prove that the Gonzalez are witnesses when they are not. A witness is somebody that knows about the facts of the case. They do not. They woke up one day and their daughter was gone and wiped off the face of the earth by some crazed lunatic that we now believe is Bryan Kohberger. Happy birthday, Crafty Chris. Nice to see you. Thank you. And also on page 7 of the Supreme Court, it says respondents contend. Well, let's read 3.6. Let's talk about this because this is going to go over to my next part. So who does rule the Illinois rule, or excuse me, the Idaho? Is this Illinois or Idaho? Hold on. I think this might be Illinois. I need Idaho law, not Illinois. Hold on. Idaho. I need Idaho. Idaho. Okay. They basically say the same thing, but still, we want the no, that's not it. We want the right rules. And we are at 3.6 is trial publicity. This is right out of the Idaho rules of professional conduct. And it says for 3.6, a lawyer who is participating or who has participated in the investigation. Shannon Gray was not a party to the investigation. He never participated. He was never a lawyer that participated. He is representing his client, the victims in this family, the victim's family in this family. That does not rise to the level of participation in litigation. Litigation of the matter shall not make an extrajudicial statement that a lawyer knows or reasonably should know will be disseminated by means of public communication and will have a substantial likelihood of materially prejudicing an adjudicative proceeding in this matter. I don't see where they're going to prove that Shannon has that level, that he can rise to that level. I just don't see it. Notwithstanding paragraph 1, a lawyer may state the claim of offense and defense. And again, this is only to the attorneys participating in the litigation. It doesn't say who has knowledge of the litigation. It says who's participating in the litigation. And unfortunately, Shannon Gray is not participating in the litigation. He's intervening to protect his client's interests. Much, much different than what this rule is requiring. And it does not appear on its face to even touch Shannon Gray. Information contained in public records, so they can so notwithstanding the lawyers may state. Remember how the judge was saying, well, would you like me to write down what you can and cannot say? No, we don't want you to write down what we can and cannot say, because 3.6 is very inclusive and governs everything. And it's also saying that an investigation of the matter is in progress. The scheduling or results of any steps in litigation, he would not be associated with the investigation or scheduling in this litigation. He has no scheduling rights in this case other than very limited in respect of the Gonzalez First Amendments. I mean, he doesn't have any possibility of actively litigating this case. All he can do is represent his clients on a limited intervening basis that the courts are granting very limitedly, hardly something that rises to the participation in litigation. A request for assistance in obtaining evidence and information necessary. He's not allowed to request information of evidence. He's not allowed to talk. I mean, he can talk about the request, which is this what they're saying, that if you are an attorney participating in litigation, you're allowed to do these things. You're allowed to warn of dangers concerning behaviors of persons involved, all these other things. Then when you get down to 6, it says, notwithstanding paragraph A, a lawyer may make a statement that a reasonable lawyer would believe is required to protect a client from the substantial undue prejudice effect of recent publicity not initiated by the lawyer or the lawyer's clients. So they're even putting in a stipulation here under C, right here. And let's blow this up so you guys can read it. Right there, number C. It says, notwithstanding paragraph A, a lawyer may make a statement that a reasonable lawyer would believe is required to protect the clients from substantial undue prejudice effect of recent publicity not initiated by the lawyer or the lawyer's conduct. A statement made pursuant to this paragraph shall be limited to such information as necessary to mitigate the recent adverse publicity. So they even have a way out for the attorneys that if we, the public, we media, mainstream media, as well as alternative media, if we make, statements that are prejudicial to the defendant, Nancy Taylor can come and direct and speak about those issues if she so chooses to correct them in the public. So again, this does not say anything. This judge is trying to make us and convince us that he says. He does not, literally, it is the most insane thing I have ever seen. So this judge is literally trying to say that nobody can make a statement to media at all. But even inside their own rule gives them permission to make statements where they would not otherwise be able to make them in an effort to protect her client, Bryan C. Kohberger. Going down to D, no lawyer associated in a firm or government agency with a lawyer subject to paragraph A shall make statements prohibited to paragraph A. Again, Shannon Gray is outside of 3.6 when dealing with his clients, the victim's family. That's what he was arguing. That is everything he was arguing to the courts. Now, getting on to some additional information that was in the Supreme Court, ruling. And it's on this page, which is page 7 of the published opinion. And it's about, I want to say the second or third second or third sentence, which is right here. I'm going to highlight it and then we're going to read it. That's the one I'm referring to. And it says, respondents contend that this court should deny the petition because the amended non-dissemination order applies only to trial participants. We just went over 3.6, and it's for trial participants. Shannon Gray is not considered a trial participant. The victims' families are not trial participants. So they're saying that the non-dissemination order applies only to trial participants, adheres to Idaho rules of professional conduct governing attorneys. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It actually broadly expands 3.6 in the non-dissemination order, and is not a prior restraint against petitioners. And I said, prior restraint against petitioners would be something that my audience has no idea what prior restraint means. Nobody does. At least no layperson would understand what prior restraint means. Now, prior restraint has been deemed unconstitutional here in the United States. So what does prior restraint mean? And I thought this was the best way to really explain it to my audience of what prior restraint is. And prior restraint is a form of censorship. Okay. Now remember, we have our constitutional rights to prevent us from censorship. So prior restraint is a form of censorship that allows the government to review the content of printed material and prevent their publication. It surely does sound like when you hear Judge say, hey, would you like me to give you a list of talking points that you can discuss? It sure sounds a lot like the definition of prior restraint, which is in this Supreme Court published opinion where the respondents are contending there is no prior restraint. Well, it's sure smelling like there is. Prior restraint is a form of censorship that allows government to review the content of printed material and prevent their publication. Most scholars believe that the First Amendment's guarantee of freedom of press includes the restriction of prior restraint. In numerous cases, the Supreme Court has indicated that the Constitution establishes a strong presumption against prior restraint. In this June 30th, 1971, photo worker in New York Times composing room in New York look at a proof sheet of a page containing the secret Pentagon reports on Vietnam. In a 6-3 decision, the Supreme Court ruled that the New York Times versus the United States of 1971, that despite the sensitive nature of the information, the newspaper could still publish it under the no prior restraint doctrine. Interesting information. Interesting information. So prior restraint, i.e., a judge telling us what we can and cannot say related to a case, to me, is prior restraint and censorship from our government, which is considered and deemed unconstitutional in this land. So again, as we, we provide our education to our audience, which again has been told to us by the judge that what we should be doing is educating our audience. Sorry, Judge, I'm educating our audience, but unfortunately, it does not bode in your favor. Another definition. Judicial suppression of material that would be published or broadcast on the grounds it would be libelous or harmful. Sounds like prior restraint. Very important. Why am I bringing prior restraint up? Because it sure smells like prior restraint is being used in this case. And again, the U.S. Supreme Court has deemed that prior restraint unconstitutional, and it's been deemed unconstitutional since 1971. So folks, that is really the crux of my conversation today, is to educate you on the law, educate you on Idaho law, the best of my ability, and to research all the allegations coming out from these hearings in this public trial. Whether or not we have cameras in the courtroom or not, the Bullhorn Betty channel will be in Idaho during this trial. Whenever this trial moves forward, we will be there, period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about whether or not we will be in front of that courthouse, Utah County Courthouse. I will absolutely 100% be there. Rain, shine, sell the house. It's going to be Idaho. What is it? What was that thing? Gosh, remember, or broke. Remember that? We used to put it all on our cars every time we went on a road trip. I can't remember it. It's been so many years. You guys are starting to see my age. You're starting to see my age. There were a few other documents before I open the phone lines up and let you guys call in. There were a few other documents that were added to the docket for Bryan Kohberger that I found interesting. And so I'm going to open the phone lines about the prior restraint and the arguments from the court and the people associated with it. And I'm going to open up the phone lines and see what you guys have to say so far, and then we'll get over to the new documents and close out our day for today. So just give me a second while I open up the phone lines. And hopefully you guys got some good information out of me today. I hope you did. I mean, that's what it's really all about, is getting as much up-to-date information as possible. And it's funny because, when you look at true crime communities on here and I go into them, I find them complaining more about other creators than actually discussing true crime or educating their audience on the law or other particulars about the case. So I definitely want to make sure that we came here and make sure that we were doing the right thing and educating our audience. Okay, guys, so now the phone lines are officially open. If somebody would like to call in and just discuss where we are so far, the number is 724-249-6140. That's 724-249-6140. Well, good morning, Turkey Man.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm still in a lot of pain, but I'm feeling much better today. I got up and moved around a little bit yesterday, and it helped.
Well, you look like you're doing better today.
Yeah.
Than you were yesterday.
I thought I looked good yesterday. You know what? But it took me 2 hours to get there.
I heard that. Well, I got concerned about you, like I messaged you there. I knew that something was going up, and so I'm always here. If you need prayers or anything, just let me know, okay?
Yeah, I just need a new back. If you got one of those in stock, maybe I need to call Kat's Creepy Creations to see if I can get a new back if she's got one in stock.
How's your mom doing?
She's doing great. Actually, I believe she's in chat. She's probably going to be calling probably right after you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to get off and let her get in, but I was just going to give you a call. Now, I'm enjoying what you're doing. It takes you back really before my time a little bit with the summer wells.
Yeah.
I mean, that was before I kind of found you guys. Like I said, I found you in the coffee club during the Kylie Rodney case, and that's where I.
Yeah, you've never really saw us out doing our thing. We used to go out and search for people. I mean, we met with we'd always go into communities. We'd reach out to law enforcement. We always had such a great working connection with law enforcement. It's just been, and we will continue to do so. And like I said, we collaborated with some good people that did a lot of amazing things, and we were very privileged and to be able to do that. And we did some really great work together that I think over the years will be more notable than they were at the time.
Well, like I say, I appreciate that. I know that I don't always get to tell you how much that I do appreciate what you guys do, and I do appreciate it, because I think it's something that needs to be more of, and making a stand in a positive direction.
Yeah, I wish there would be more people like us out there that wanted to collaborate and really do good for these cases and not make it all about this chaos and drama, drama filled. Like, I really would like to see collaborators come together for the sake of these children, the sake of these victims, and do really good. And it's just too many people want to try to say I'm the king or queen of this and that. No, you're not. No, you're not. You know who is? The victims. Those are the people that drive me.
I'm concerned about that judge. I know you haven't got into it really too much this morning that I've seen, but the judge in that Idaho 4, Judge, I think is his name. I'm concerned about his attitude. I think he's trying to be about him. What little bit I've seen about it, I hope that's not the case. But
I just never in my life ever met judges that believe that they truly have the authority to push the entire public out of a public trial. Like, they really believe, I'm like, this judge truly believes he has this authority, which is a little odd for me. Like, you have authority where you're provided authority. You can't make your own authority over a case or a victim's. I mean, what information, what possible witness can they be in a trial when they weren't even in the community when their daughter was killed and weren't even notified about it for hours later? What possible information would they be able to put them on the stand to weigh against Bryan Kohberger? None.
Well, the thing about it is they are wanting and a good chance of obtaining the information they've worked to get.
Mm-hmm.
Because nobody was doing anything, and that's where parents have to a lot of times step up and spend money and do the investigation and hand feed the ones that can do something about it the information that was there for them to gather if they went and gathered it.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, let's see if we can paint that. Let's see if we can get that sewed out. See if we can get that removed, because if you mess this thing up, then it's already been thrown out. It's already been painted. Mm-hmm. It's already not been done correctly. And if you can throw this thing out, then it can't be used.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a danger. It's dangerous when they treat victims more like the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And these parents are victims too.
Oh, absolutely. And I tell you, because you got all these cocky men, it seems like, in Latah County, where they just feel their authority is supreme. And, it gives me a little heartburn that that's how they feel things are in their community. And they've been a small community for a really long time. They've been able to get away with whatever law they've chosen to present in their community and in their courts. But now you've got a high profile case. So we're going to hold your feet to the fire. We're going to make sure you're following the law to the T. And obviously they're going to challenge if it affects them. And that's where we're at today. And I feel like the judge is misrepresenting his own facts to keep this non-dissemination order in place. And I don't like that. It does not make me feel good. Hey, Stefford.
Well, I was thinking it's getting very close to a year anniversary of me watching you guys, because whenever the Kylie Rodney case, whenever Adventures with Purpose found her.
Yeah.
I started watching, and I started gathering you guys, you and Dolly, and all those kind of stood out. So I followed you guys, but all the information that was gathered again. I mean, somebody knew that case. They's justice ain't been served there, and that's a lot of that. What we've seen in that case is what you're seeing here. And this, we got control of this little world we live in, and we're going to do it the way we want to do it. And nobody else is able to come in and tell us what we're going to do. And if a parent has a problem with it, we're going to make them part of the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's going on. I mean, you've seen it in that case. It's going to be a year long.
Yeah.
Well, sis, I'm going to have to go. I got a phone call.
All right. You have a great day. God bless, and take care. Bye-bye. All right. So, yeah, and I agree. I love hearing from Turkey Man. He always brings a different, kind of cool, calm perspective about, him whenever he's speaking. And he's really got a good handle on these cases. As I said, Mama Bullhorn would be right behind Turkey Man. Good morning, Mama Bullhorn.
You know how hard it was to get right behind him?
I'm sure, because the phones were blowing up. I had to turn the phones off because they kept beeping in on them.
Well, I just wanted to call and say I love you. I have my doubts about Judge. I don't know about Idaho, but it seems to me Idaho Attorney General would step in and do something about the situation.
Why is the attorney general not? I mean, look at Alec Murdaugh. We had the man himself, in that case. Where is the big cheese of Idaho? Why is he not involved in this case?
I don't know. I just wish they're being too protective, and in that being too protective, they're going to get it thrown out.
They're violating people's rights. I mean, there's more than just the right to a fair trial. It's very important that Bryan we don't want him having additional appeals, but we also know that this is not the first high-profile murder trial that we've ever had, and we've never had all these problems. And this is not immune and not special to Bryan Kohberger's case, and many other courts have been able to work through these issues and do them well. Why is this court struggling?
I don't know. And I think it's because, I don't want to say it, but backwater, they've never had to deal with anything like this.
They've never been challenged. I think that's really the thing. They're not challenged, and when they are challenged, they're not challenged often.
I think they're all on a learning curve.
That I
and I don't want to say something that makes me look like I'm an idiot, but I'm telling you, they need to go back to school.
Yeah.
They need to.
I don't think it's that they need to go back to school. I think they're very knowledgeable. I think they're just trying to stretch the law as far as they can stretch it. And I think that
they need
only
Judge
the
Newman
judge do because the judge believes, and they've proven that they have no problem taking this up the food chain to the Supreme Court if need be.
Well, they need Judge Newman.
Oh, I know. He was nice. He was great.
He knew what he was doing. I don't know what the hell. Why would they gag the parents? I mean,
I think what it comes down to is what they're fearful to have out. And I might as well just go ahead and say it out because they don't have jurisdiction over this mouth. I think it's because the Gonzalez family were working circles around law enforcement. They were working circles
absolutely.
They were the ones providing the information to the investigation while being treated like pure crap by the investigators as well as Bill Thompson, because he didn't like criticism. He just wanted everybody to stay out of his way so he can do his job. Well, I hate to tell you, everybody in this country has bosses, including our government. And I like being my boss's government.
Well,
my government's boss, rather. My government's boss. There we go.
Well, Turkey Man, thanks for mentioning me. I am doing great as far as...
She's driving, guys. Get the hell off the road. She's got the car. She's got the car. Turn the driver's license in now. We got Bionic Mom, Bullhorn Betty's mom, knee surgery, metal bionic knee, driving. You never know. They may infiltrate that knee. They got those secret
X-rays. Oh my gosh. But anyways, I just have a lot of nerve pain down my leg.
Yeah.
And I don't pay attention to it during the day when I'm up and moving around. And it just drives me crazy at night. I'm getting an average of 3, maybe 4 hours of sleep at night. But anyways, I'm driving my husband crazy. I cut the grass yesterday, so I'm not doing that bad.
I've been taking it easy with the back.
I got all the stuff for you.
I'm in pain.
I've got like every brand of muscle cream. I've got every freaking drug. I mean, they sent me home with 7 drugs.
Ugh.
And I've only taken out of the 7, 2.
Yeah, I know. You know how I feel. What did I tell?
I don't know what I'm going to do with the rest of them.
Tell the audience what my tidbit of advice to you was.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Tell my audience what tidbit of advice I provided you regarding the medication.
Oh, don't take it.
Take what instead?
It doesn't work. That's the
It makes you
truth.
groggy. It makes you loopy, but it doesn't take away
kill
your
the pain.
You want
It
good,
doesn't do anything. That's right.
you want good pain relief? Get yourself some ibuprofen or Aleve.
That's what I've been taking. And the other thing is they give you these long-term nerve blocks down your leg.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 5 weeks yesterday. And I still have big knots in my legs. That's what's causing the nerve pain. Is
Have you
the
thought
big
about massaging them?
this one big blob of a nerve block that's pressing against another nerve. My kneecap is totally dead. Oh, they also retreaded my kneecap. In other words, I have a new kneecap.
Yeah, well, that's what.
Because it was totally disintegrated. So yeah, I have all these bionic parts, and they're working great under limitations of muscles and tendons. My muscles and
until the government takes over, and then your knees are just going to be.
The 22 years, my leg never bent. I couldn't squat. I couldn't kneel. And now the physical therapist is trying to make my leg bend.
Pretty soon, Mama Bullhorn's going to be in the club.
But
you're going to be able to booty dance soon, Ma.
But I'm waiting for my dryer. Our dryer got fried with a power surge.
I don't know how your stuff gets. I knock on wood. I'm not going to say anything else. I'm not going to say it because.
Well, you know, I'm on Peace River. You know, they flip it on and off all over the place. So it's not like Florida Power and Light.
All right, Ma. Well, let me get on.
All right, baby. I'm alive and kicking and doing well.
And you're feeling well?
I'm feeling okay. Just trying to ignore this pain. But you know what? I wanted to buy one of those. It's like a patch, and it's an electrical stimulator. But the therapist said, "Don't do it because your knee is metal."
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
well, you know how my neck is. I'm a Doppler radar. You've got neck surgery too, so you have that experience as well. Like,
heck!
I can always feel
I can smell the weather. I can smell the weather.
Yeah.
Oh, and somebody brought up this morning. They told the realtor that they wouldn't buy the house because they had feelings about it being not a good house to live in. I can't go to funerals. I can't go to cemeteries. I mean, I can't go to St. Augustine. I can't. Every time I do, I feel like I'm bringing somebody home.
Yeah.
It's like, I was sitting in a bar one time, not drinking,
Hold on
but
a second.
eating.
I'm having some pain. Nothing's worked out. Sorry, go ahead.
And we were having dinner, your younger sister and I. We would just stop there to have dinner on the way home from Banner Elk. And I'm sitting there, and the fireplace is roaring, and there's a big staircase going up, right? And I said to the gal behind the bar who brought us our dinner, I said, "Are you the owner?" She said, "Oh, yeah, I'm the owner. My husband and I own this." I said, "Did somebody die in this house?"
Why do you have to go straight to the freaking ghosts?
And I said, "Did something not nice happen to them?" And she goes, "Well, this house was built in the 1700s. And yes, you're right. Something not nice did happen to one of the owners." And I go, "Oh, I feel a rope was involved." And she goes, "Yep." And that's it. That was all I said. I said, "Okay, that's all I need to know."
Right. All right, Ma.
All right.
I'm probably not going to get through the rest of these documents. I'm probably going to have to wait until tomorrow. I'm starting to have some major.
The documents, listen, baby, you have put Banfield to shame and a couple of the gals on News Nation to shame with your research.
I just wish they would just tell, they keep dancing around in circles, and I don't like it. I'm not here to make a judge feel comfortable. I'm not here to make a defense feel comfortable. I'm not here to make the prosecution feel comfortable.
Well, it's about
a public trial, and the public has a right to know. That is why I'm here.
Well, also, it's about ratings. And these people have big bosses, and the big bosses say, don't talk about it. And their lips are sealed. Even though they have strong emotions about it, and they want to talk about it, they can't.
Right.
They can't.
All right, Mom, I gotta let you go. I gotta shut this. I'm gonna have a lot of pain.
Okay, I know.
Gotta run.
I love everyone.
I love you too.
Everyone.
Bye. Bye. Guys, I was gonna finish up this thing, but I'm really having some discomfort on my left side. So this is kind of it for the. I'll try to get some pain medication in me, and then I'll try to get back later this afternoon, or at least do a video. I've got a lot to say about this. Plus, we have all the other documents left. I'm really sorry, guys, but I'm getting pinched up, and my back is not at 100%. I'm just doing the best I can to get through it while I heal. So anyways, I'm just having some discomfort. So I'll let you guys go. Have a great day. I hope something I said was beneficial. I'm going to continue to research and get some more information out to you guys. Okay. So take care. God bless. I love you. Make it a great day. And today's Thursday. We're going to be flowing into our weekend. So God bless each and every one of you. And until next time, please be safe and kind to one another.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.